Okay, so I'm just I don't really know how to explain this, and I don't know why I'm recording it, but I am not in the physical capability to really be making a video because I'm completely off balance, like I can't physically or mentally focus properly. This is for a number of reasons which most people won't acknowledge or think is valid. That's because, and it probably doesn't matter in some respects, but just at a basic level, if you're surrounded by negative sight and sound programs, in other words, if you have too much intrusion into your reality around you, that is going to put you off balance. But there's a lot more to it than that, because of course it's cumulative too, which is another thing. See, if you're dealing with a continual sight and sound program around you for 7.5 years, maybe eventually it takes its toll. But I think that there are close and far away negative energies, as they say. You can use whatever mystical or magical or even real technical reality, practical things you want to use to determine what these energies are. Everyone has heard of direct energy. Everyone knows that it can be used to completely stun an audience. We've seen this in the information available. And we've heard of mind control programs in the past, which I'm not real familiar with, but we've heard of them. Of course, you know that that's being done now. Some people believe the program or believe the mind control, or are more susceptible to what we call mind control possession. All these terminologies are all the same thing, because technology is behind most of the magic. Technology is behind most of the mind control. Technology is being used by people who are really technological in origin, or adopt technology as the main prominent tool of their life. All these things are the same thing, even though they vary, of course, from person to person, or from android to android. Android is a technical being, an artificially conceived being, but also an android is someone who, like myself, has technology or is connected to technology. In other words, a transhuman, transformer human. I may or may not have chosen to be transformed. You make decisions, but if you're not fully informed, a bit like if you place an implant in your body consciously, thinking that it's just going to be a convenience for you to open a door or to make your life easier, a bit like when you have more electronic devices in your house. You think it's a convenience. You don't see it as tech invasion, but it is. It is. And everything is tech invasion. I can hardly keep my balance here because I'm disorientated physically at the moment, and I don't know if I'll recover or not. So it makes it more, that's a reason that they do this too, is because although I'm been psychologically disorientated, and yes, gradually physically more less, or made less, but still able to get round, even though not as well as what I used to, or as well as what I should, because this is not natural phenomenon. This is my only complaint or defense, or whatever you think it is, because most people will not see it as legitimate. But if you're in a natural world, but you use your body as you see fit. You can put what you want into it, or you have some control over your natural environment. But if you're in a technical reality where all the beings around you are using technology and their understanding of how to manipulate what we call manipulating energy, and they're using that to control you and to limit you and to suppress your mind, body, and yes, your life spirit, because they're really taking your human life from you. So I have to be poetic here and try to compete with the demigods of the internet. But the reality is, they may talk poetic, they may present these arguments and even present some of the truth much better than a suppressed human, but they are demigods of this technical earth matrix. The internet is an artificial intelligent computer system. There's very little human on it, or very little natural on it, or very little that is not trying to control things, trying to control life. I don't know whether... See, this is... As soon as I started this video, even though I'm off balance and can't function, sound come on, and now has been turned off as soon as I try to get close to it so that the mobile can pick it up. But it was coming into my ears, and these are all very distracting, very technical, mechanical sounds that disturb you. See, it's not loud. Mobile can't pick up the sounds. They've got it to where my ears pick it up, so that's disturbing me, putting me off balance, but also just stopping me from concentrating on what I'm saying and recording, because they don't want you to come across as better than the artificial intelligent androids that control and actually populate most of the internet computer system. I think that's basically it. The computer system was originally, I think, put out there for human communication, I'm told, and for human information, and for, a way for humans to access items and things that they would find difficult to get, because it's a worldwide information and buying and selling kind of computer system, and that seems like a wonderful benefit to people. That's the seduction and the enticement to get you to use it. But then it's really about human mind control, really. 100%. And if they can't control you through the computer system, then they control the reality around you. But they're actually always observing and watching every person. It's a total watched city society you know, in a manner and a way that you wouldn't think was, you know, believable or possible even. But that's because I'm given a certain amount of technology, but everyone knows that the powers that be have advanced technology. You see this when they tell you certain things, but you don't think that it's part of your reality, and you think that it's not something that's ever going to come against you, because you don't understand that this reality is all about and is kept going by human energy, and that it is controlled by powers that be that I think have always been not part of humanity and have not wanted humanity to have their original power over their natural earth, because that is the opposite to what the powers that be and the god Lucifer of earth wants. That's essentially how it is. I use names on the God entity only so that people can try to understand it. But it's not an influencing force, it's a controlling force. And it is about limiting, suppressing and controlling and getting everything from the human for its survival, at the expense of humanity's extinction, really. That's exactly what's happened. But you don't realise that because everything looks human and natural around you. But it's not. It's not. And I want you, I'm being, even though it's getting on here, I'm being played with the, I can hardly stand up. That's the trouble. I'm trying to find my balance at a physical level. This has only happened to me recently because although I have been aware of direct energy being targeting my body for the last 7 years, it's not stopped me from being mobile, but it has made me less at a physical level. When you know that you were once quite, you understand the differences, but also you feel the energy at you, and you feel the bodily sensations that come with these energy being used as a weapon against your body. But don't forget, like the internet and the technology, it's all invisible. So you can't say that someone is pointing a gun at you if that weapon is invisible, and especially when the gun is inside buildings, houses, and aeroplanes, etc. And particularly when these vehicles, aeroplanes and energies are the powers that be. They control everything. So, as the saying goes, you don't have anything to really, and that's another point, I was going to say that, but I don't want to use the word, because humans do have the power of word, but so do the androids, and so do the powers that be, and so does the internet. And the deception is that you will not hear any truth from a real human. They will pretend to be the real truth and the real humans. Yes, they are the finest examples of imitations of life, and they dominate everything. And this is I was just going to use this. Every video that comes up for me, it doesn't matter whether it's music, movie, informative, truth-telling, psychological, philosophy, doesn't matter, whatever, doesn't matter even if it's just trying to sell me something that I might need or that I'm interested in. Doesn't matter what it is, it's all artificial intelligence, and it's all actually hypnotizing you and mind controlling you at the same time. So you think you're choosing something, but it's really choosing you. But more importantly, you will get something from it, but it will take a lot more from you. While it gives you something you want, maybe a bit of truth, maybe a bit of philosophy, maybe a bit of psychology, maybe a bit of entertainment, maybe a relaxing or even exciting piece of music, maybe a imaginative movie, but it will be hypnotizing you and taking your energy and your reactions and your thoughts through that interaction from you, and using it for its advantage to control not just you, but other humans that are also not aware of this, or at least only, like myself, partially aware of it. Because even no matter how aware or how awake you think you are to the truth or to the world, you'll still be controlled by it, I think. Some will be controlled, like myself, a lot more than others, even when you're aware of it, which is kind of ironic and a bit sad for the human race, yes. A bit sad for the human race, but we are, if you are the small human race or even the in the dark human race, you don't realise how close you are to Earth extinction. But this Earth is not a natural Earth anyway, so the actual, even though it still might be distressing to think that, there's not a real lot of natural stuff left in the Earth now. This is a matrix. This is a technical matrix. And in many ways it is a virtual reality world, even though it is under the deception of pretending to be still natural, when it's just a total technical human mind control matrix. A total technical human mind control matrix controlled by others. Yes, that sounds mystical and alien and fantastic, but it actually is the truth. But even if you don't think that, you must realize that the power players of Earth do control the Earth. The seen android beings, the seen technical human beings, the seen human beings that really control Earth, but they're really about technology, so they are not natural humans. Oh yes, they pretend to protect a natural Earth, but they're really protecting a technical Earth. They're really protecting a matrix, okay? And this might be, I never know if this will be the last time I speak into the mobile, but it matters not, because no one listens. This is a technical Android internet controlled by Android beings. They're the only ones who are seen and heard in any way by real humans or on any sort of, has any reasonable audience. Because the minute, even though everyone can access everything, the minute they see that you might have access, they change the algorithms, as they call it. In other words, they change something on the internet so that the humans are always kept not just in the dark, but down the bottom of the internet to where they're hardly seen or heard. It's all what they allow. It's all under total control. And you'd say, well, why am I wasting my time and energy doing this? Why am I even bothering? Well, it's just a way of me getting it off my chest, really. And maybe I live in some dim, stupid human faith or hope that someone or something might hear it to where I somehow am given a chance to survive. It's an SOS matrix. It's an SOS call from the matrix to other humans or whatever there is beyond. I don't know. But I live in perhaps false hope, but that's all you've got left. It's like when people pray. People only pray if they don't really believe in anything or don't know anything, only as a last resort. And sometimes it comes off too. I know it's happened to me, even though I've believed in nothing or anything most of my life, but a few times in my human existence when I've thought that, I was going to be finished, I've prayed. But also I think it depends on why you pray because, well, I'm not going to say, but, it has to be a certain the right reason why you're praying, I think, because when I think of the times when, of course, the Matrix was the reason for the physical threats too. That's another point too. So, nothing is like, this is not a human or a natural creative earth reality. It just pretends to be that to keep humans away from the truth of the reality that they're being totally controlled and that they're not in a natural earth and that they're very separate from anything natural or from even their own creation or their own bloodline, shall we say, because you've got different species of human inhabiting the same earth. Some people might say, well, of course you have different personalities of humans. You do have psychopaths and you do have normal humans and you do have some humans that are, very about life. But all these different definitions bypass the fact that they're a totally different being, even though they come in a cloned human body, or in other words, an apparently natural human body. And that doesn't really matter. Like I say, it is what is controlling everyone, what controls you, what controls the other beings. One is a psychopathic, very self-serving, self-centered, godlike mind that wants to control everyone and everything, and the other is not spending their whole life wanting and doing that. And also the other is under the dominion of these entities, even the humans around you, because they have a psychopathic type mindset. They're not for life or human beings. They're your great pretenders, like your great singers and your great actors, because they do pretend that. They do present the greatest imitations of life. And that's how you get deceived. And that's the reality. And I'm just going to show, I could show a billion videos, particularly of the demigod music idols, because no matter what is presented in the creative professions, they are for the Earth Matrix. And don't forget that I should say this because it's quite relevant, I think, that these beings do see themselves as spiritual. A bit like the followers and disciples of Lucifer see Lucifer as the true God, and its androgyne beings as the real humans. They are under that belief. So it really is about different gods, different beliefs, and different beings, all thinking that their religion or their belief system is what should be. Some humans think that you should be able to believe what you want. These beings will say that you should be able to believe what you want, but really they're about oppressing what you are and putting their android reality onto you, because you think it's the human reality. If you think a psychopath is a real human and you're, as they say, seduced by their false image, by their false personality, by their false ideas, by them pretending to be what you think they are when they're not, they're usually about the complete opposite to what they project, which is what makes them great actors. Basically, most humans are surrounded by great actors both on and off the screen, everywhere. It's one big human deception or illusion, in the sense that every bit of information you get is what they want you to receive. If they think you're awake up to this reality that it's all fake, it's all illusion, then they will still try to get you to trust some false truth tellers. I think that's really the name of this matrix game. It's just all about keeping you connected to them, to their grid, and the technical reality is a low frequency, low vibrational human energy. In other words, it, as someone said to me recently, it's just about happy and sad. They pretend to be happy, and they give you the illusion that if you're with them, you'll be happy. But in reality, they're about depression and keeping you sad. They're the great illusionists, because high human vibration or happiness is an offense to the God of this world and to the android beings and to psychopaths and those that are what we call made of malignant narcissus. And that is the God of Earth and its mind, which infiltrates the mind and the brain of the androgyne beings. This is its Earth, and most are its disciples. You know, you can call this possession, you can call this technology, mind controlling people, you can use so many different terminologies, and I don't understand how the technology works. If you want to say that invisible energy or invisible information or invisible technology that goes through the air is magic, and that people are like wizards because they're using these things to control human beings, so be it. It's true, but it's all just how you use the words. But whichever way you look at it, it's invisible technology. It's not anything coming from creation or from real humans, okay? So it is an alien technological invasion of the human mind and the human body and the human earth, because it's not a human earth, because these beings control it, technology controls it, and that's the reality. I might just show how. I was just going to try to show I'm here and I can't quite I'm not sure what I'm filming here because I've got the mobile around the wrong way and I can't actually open the door. Oh, I can't, because I wanted to open the door, but you see, it's turned on and off as I do things. I was trying to open the little door to pick up that intrusive invasion of sound, but the minute I do, it's turned down. See, it's turned down very low. The mobile won't pick it up. And this is because I'm connected to them and they're reacting to everything I do, because it's a total watched society. These watchers have been around since the original, what we call the original takeover of the human mind that is in this earth matrix, okay? That's the best way I can describe it. I'm kind of understand it, but not fully, you know? See, I can't really show these things. I'll just try to show something, but I can't. But it's going into my ears with this very disturbing, it's nearly throwing me off balance just physically, even because I don't feel, like I say, I'll just try to show how the demigod music artist, this is, I could pick a billion, I could pick a billion videos. This one just come up, so it's not anything that I've picked, and it's just every time I watch any music video, the flickering lights, the speed at which they're projecting the images is part of invisible, hypnotic, subliminal, they call it, mind control. And this is true. I don't understand what they're sending to me when I'm watching it, but I'm aware with the flashing lights, just as I'm aware when I go outside on the street, when every car is blinking and flicking its bright headlights and bright backlights at me. Everywhere I look, that I'm being hypnotized and suppressed. In other words, that is where they're putting me off balance, which is why I can hardly, I know I'm making this video, so I'm really trying hard to concentrate, but actually I can hardly keep on my feet. See how they have all the flashing lights on all these entertainers? Because they're actually, that's part of taking over your sight and sound, which is what they do with me on the street, to where you get off balance. But when it's only temporary or not continual, you don't realise it, whereas you realise it when they patrol and do it to you day in and day out. This is the difference. Also, these beings show their allegiance to the, the androgyne demigod of Earth, or when I say demigod, because if you think that there is a creator even of the God of Earth, because although the God of Earth controls the humans that are in the Earth matrix, this being was created by what you'd call original creation. It was the first creation, or the first creation of artificial intelligence, you could say, okay? That's perhaps the best way that I can describe it, because I have to use words to describe the difference between the humans and the different creators. These are technical creators that make noise, or technical controllers, because if humans were at their full capacity and not suppressed by controlling forces around you through sight and sound, SOS, 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 please. Please. SOS. SOS. No, I'm acting. I'm an artificial intelligent human being pretending to be a real human being, putting out a false SOS on a video so that I can get attention and connect with real humans that think I'm real, okay? That's the truth, okay? And I'm merely talking against the most creative artificial intelligent beings that are. I'm probably just envious of them, just envious of their creative ability and their gifts and their talents and their vast intellect, their vast contribution to the history of the creative and intellectual history of humanity and to the advanced technical reality we now live in. Okay, so it's just outright human envy and resentment and contempt for that which is better than it. Okay, is that the truth? Is that the truth? Is that the truth? Yes, I guess it must be. See the flag? They certainly